समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया?
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The BJP is set to make history in Mumbai. The party is likely to have its first mayor as it's a saffron sweep in Maharashtra. In particular, the most closely watched election has been the BMC election. The jewel in the crown is, of course, India's financial capital, and the BJP is set to take away the control of the city after 3 decades from the Thackerays, whose political brand stands diminished and in crumbling mode today. The Congress has been a flop within the city of Mumbai, but elsewhere in Maharashtra has actually outperformed both the Thackere brothers and the Pawars. In both of these families, the reunions of divided families failed to impress the voter. But the real man of the moment is Devendra Fadnavis. In a moment from now, Yashwant Deshmukh will be joining us to decode the saffron sweep of Maharashtra. Those are images you see of celebrations at the BJP office in Mumbai. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, somebody who will be credited for the party making history in the city of Mumbai, outplaying the one man whom many believed could not be outfoxed, Sharad Pawar, and pretty much decimating the Thackerays, who for more than 25 years have enjoyed control over one of the most influential and wealthy corporations of India, the BMC, with a spend of more than 70,000 crores at its disposal. For the opposition, this raises once again all kinds of questions. The BJP, now a massively dominant political force, reinforcing its performance of 2024 and the assembly elections here in the civic polls of Maharashtra, displaying its domination of politics, particularly in urban centers of Maharashtra. The Congress left with the usual questions, one more defeat, adding to a series of defeats since the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. And for the regional brands of Maharashtra, the Thackerays and the Pawars, an existential set of questions about what future they now have. Then we welcome Yashwant Deshmukh to the program as we decode the big Maharashtra election. Namaskar, Yashwant. We've been missing you earlier in the day, so it's good to have you with us now. Big message. The BJP is likely to have its first ever mayor. The two reunions completely flopped. Raj and Uddhav, Sharad and Ajit. What is the big takeaway for you as we look at what one Shiv Sena leader called Bhagwa on the BMC?
Barkha, as we were discussing a day back as a curtain raiser to this show, BJP arrived in 2015 assembly election when it became the single largest party in terms of votes and seats, contesting all alone. I think today is the day when Devendra Fadnavis has arrived finally as the undisputed leader of Maharashtra, the one after, I would say, a big vacuum of, created by semi-retirement of Sharad Pawar of sorts. I mean, when we talk about Maharashtra politics, till now we were only talking about for last few decades, Sharad Pawar as the person who is the king or the kingmaker or whatever, so the mover and shaker of Maharashtra politics. But I guess that place is now firmly taken over by Devendra Fadnavis. He is the mover and shaker. He is the engine of the BJP in Maharashtra. And in this one firm, swift stroke, I think he has established what many would say that is more critical for the BJP than winning BJP, than Uttar Pradesh. Why I'm saying so? Because Uttar Pradesh when the Mandir movement happened, they were the sole beneficiary of that entire movement, entire campaign, entire polarization in the last three decades. In Maharashtra, that the defining poll plank of the BJP was actually was firmly with Shiv Sena and Balasaheb Thackeray. You know, the agenda of Hindutva, the politics of Hindutva, the legacy of Hindutva politics, that was firmly with Shiv Sena and Balasaheb Thackeray. So BJP was a junior player in its own agenda over there. So I think overtaking Shiv Sena, winning Mumbai, taking the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray with them, while Uddhav Thackeray remains there, along with him Raj Thackeray remains there. That is something which I believe the strategists, the ideologues, or the insiders of the BJP, or the old timers of the BJP, I think they must be celebrating that particular movement like anything else.
So I have a lot of questions about what you've just said, and let's start with Fadnavis. I completely agree. He's very much the man of the moment. And look at also so many ironies here, right? The last time Fadnavis, when the BJP had more seats than the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena, he actually stepped aside to be a deputy to Mr. Shinde. That eventually got reversed. I don't think there's going to be any ceding of that space when it comes to the mayor of Mumbai. I think the BJP will be looking to make history.
Yes, absolutely.
But you agree? You agree? I don't think they're going to be giving that.
No way, absolutely. I mean, that is something which he has won, BJP has won. That's it. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's it. Case shut, open and shut case. There is no way they are going to yield it to anybody else.
So Fadnavis, having delivered, the state and the BMC and outfoxing the Pawars on their home turf, and such a peculiar alliance. Ajit Pawar is in this government, yet he's allowed to tie up with Sharad Pawar against the BJP, and the BJP still defeats them. What does this say for the rising arc of Fadnavis within the BJP superstructure?
I think it would be prudent to say that the BJP Gen Next has got a legit contender today. And when I say Gen Next, that doesn't mean that we are talking about somebody who's going to challenge Amit Shah. I'm talking about even Gen Next post Amit Shah kind of thing. So what is happening here is that Amit Shah is pretty much number two in the things that are right now. Yogi Adityanath is pretty much there, but I think the undisputed way that Yogi Adityanath was pretty much there after Amit Shah, that okay, that's there. I think BJP has opened up that scope. And the very fact that BJP has a problem of plenty, problem of the riches, tells us that how their bench strength is quite significantly strong. Look at the way Barkha, classically, in this amazing victory of Devendra Fadnavis, the person who got even more limelight in the campaign was the one whom they are grooming and pushing in Tamil Nadu, Annamalai. So, yeah. I mean, without going anywhere, but Annamalai probably got much bigger national narrative coverage from Mumbai than he would have probably hoped for in Chennai. Right?
Yes.
That's the irony of it, but that's what people today all across India know Annamalai because of this controversy. Otherwise, outside Tamil Nadu, barring the BJP sympathizers and the journalists and the analysts, not many people actually knew about Annamalai, right? But
let's talk about what happened with Annamalai. When Raj Thackeray basically mocked him and used words like Rasmalai and spoke about Lungi Hatao, actually invoking an old Bala Sahib sort of slogan from many decades ago. In many ways, it has captured the challenge of the Thackerays. Uddhav Thackeray, did not want to be as strident as his cousin. His cousin has continued to play almost street level, almost bordering on thuggery sort of politics. My question to you is, when you say the BJP has gone ahead in this victory, keeping Bala Sahib's legacy with them, are you saying today that the family of Bala Sahib has not known how to manage his legacy, but the party or one faction of the party has, or the BJP has managed it better? Because it's a tricky question. How do you adapt the Thackere legacy for modern times?
Well, yeah, that's pretty much true, Barkha, because you see, it's not just about Barasaheb Thackeray. Look at the other popular figures from different parties that BJP has managed to march away with. And they marched away with because somebody within their original party dumped their legacy. So, I mean, come to think of it, Sardar Patel's legacy, if the Congress dumped it and BJP marched away with it. I mean, today, as on today, I believe that if you even talk to a common man on the street, that person is likely to associate Sardar Patel's legacy more with the BJP than with the Congress.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Same is with Barasaheb's legacy. Yes, his bloodline was pretty much there till the point of time that bloodline was unflinchingly in support of a Hindutva combined force with the BJP. I believe, and I genuinely believe, the day Uddhav Thackeray became chief minister with the help of Congress, that day a lot of that legacy got diluted. So yes, Uddhav Thackeray is still a force. Yes, he still carries a significant amount of Marathi Manus vote in that way. And even that vote is kind of firmly rooted somewhere in the Hindutva campaign and Hindutva bloc.
I mean, in many ways, Uddhav Thackeray has fallen between two stools. The Uddhav Thackeray that obviously got Congress support was not Balasaheb's legacy. And the Raj Thackeray interpretation of the Balasaheb legacy doesn't work for the Mumbai of 2026.
Of course, yes. Because as we discussed earlier, there are two significant changes in the Mumbai demography that has happened. Number one, it is no more the Marathi city in that way. The demography has changed. There is a significantly large non-Marathi population. Then within the Marathi universe, the new generation of the Marathi voters have come in. They would not really align with that language, with that kind of vision for Marathi Manus that Thackeray brothers might be out of just pure thinking of somehow saving their core voter might have been,
Yeah.
But they need to look at the fact that there is a new generation of Marathi Manus, and unfortunately, the new generation of their leadership is not in sync with that generation.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. Balasaheb Thackeray would still be a name that would be venerated in large sections of Maharashtra. But the Thackerays themselves as a political brand today are looking at very troubled times because having lost control of Mumbai, right? And if we can just bring up the numbers and, if you look at these numbers, having lost control of Mumbai, what next now for the UBT Shiv Sena? What happens now? I mean, we've had through the day leaders of the UBT on this program, on this channel saying that maybe it's time to drop the Congress and other allies. Those voices have started coming up now that, maybe we made a mistake by forging these alliances.
Well, credit where due. Shiv Sena, UBT, 70 plus on its own, puts them as the main opposition in Mumbai. It's not a bad, again, now from the psephological perspective, Barkha, it's not that bad a performance after almost being 25 years in power. Facing a 25 years or a quarter century old anti-incumbency factor and still managing to be the single biggest opposition party over there is not a small thing. Credit where due. They are going to remain there. And as in democracy, more often than not, when it happens that sometimes when the tide turns, they will be pretty much there to benefit out of that tide. But if they will keep on waiting for the tide to turn like the Congress is doing at the national level, they would be in for a rude shock because this is not the hypoactive BJP of the yesteryears where they would let the anti-incumbency set in and let the tide take over. This is the much more proactive BJP, the new generation, where they will keep on inventing new ways to counter the anti-incumbency. A zillion new ways, So they're not going to just let it go by default.
But talking about the Congress, if we can have the overall Maharashtra numbers, please, it's something very interesting. Obviously, the Congress is a total flop show, as it were, in Mumbai. But outside of Mumbai, the Congress does outperform the Thackerays
Yes.
and the Pawars. Right
Yeah.
now, the Pawars were never a pan Maharashtra party, so maybe that's not necessarily a fair analogy. But also look at the performance of Owaisi's party. Right, it's leading in 77 wards, and I think in Mumbai, if I can get the Mumbai figures on MIM on my screen, I think in Mumbai it is probably done better than the MNS, if I'm not wrong. I need clarification on those figures if I can get the Mumbai numbers up. But meanwhile, Yashwant, go ahead.
Well, yes, you are right, Barkha. And look into the regional thing. I mean, people might be confused.
Sorry. I need to correct myself. MIM has just won one seat in BMC, but it's leading in 77 wards across Maharashtra.
Yeah. So for the benefit of the viewers, I mean, just I will give you the ringside view of the regions of these all municipalities.
Yeah.
So what has happened is that it is Mumbai. It is a bipolar between Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray, and BJP. Forget about the alliance partners. They played their role, but they are actually non-existent in that way. Outside this region, when the moment you go to West Maharashtra, regardless of the result, you will figure out that it is a bipolar between BJP and the Pawars. So that's a BJP and Pawar territory. Mumbai is BJP and Thackeray territory. Forget about the results. BJP has swept, fine. But look into the opposition space. Look which is the second party, and you will almost find the third parties as non-existent in majority of these places.
Yeah.
Whether it is BJP versus Congress, everybody else vanishes.
Yeah.
North Maharashtra, BJP versus Congress, everybody else vanishes. Marathwada also almost on the same line. So Maharashtra has gone completely bipolar with BJP as one pole and one of these party as as the key contestant against the BJP, where Congress, out of the 6 major regions, 3 regions, Congress is still the main contender, and is something for Congress to think about. Congress I have been maintaining all along. It's not that Congress is going away, it's vanished. Even in the worst of the case scenario, in 14, 19, 24, the Congress still managed to poll 20% of the national vote, which is like every 5th Indian who is voting for them. Now, their problem is their reinvention. They are unable to reinvent, and they are somewhere struck. What A.K. Antony said in his report after 2014 debacle, that Congress has got a branding of, an unfortunate branding of being anti-Hindu or a Muslim party. I genuinely believe that Congress has not really proactively done anything to wash away that branding, to dilute that brand.
I mean, there was a time in the middle when they did these temple runs, both siblings, Rahul and Priyanka. But
that Janevdhari temple run, very brief and superficial period. It was never followed up with another temple run or a periodic temple run or a continued temple run, So basically, they have doubled down on their Muslim vote strategy, that we need that. It is the base. Then we'll add Dalit, and then we shall wait for the tide to turn. Someday people will get upset, and someday that they will come back. Yes, in democracy, someday that will happen, as we have seen sometime in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan, even almost to an extent in Gujarat 5 years back, right? So someday, yes, but that someday in this current form of the BJP and mind you, looking at the bench strength of the BJP, that's what we were talking about, Devendra Fadnavis and everybody, I mean, from Yogi Adityanath to Himanta Biswa Sarma to everybody in between. Their bench strength suggests that someday is not going to arrive pretty soon. They might be disappointed. That their bench strength is suggesting they are in for a long haul, while your bench strength, you are kind of not only leaving out the real people who are matter on the ground, even including the younger lot like Sachin Pilot and Jyotiraj Scindia and whomsoever in there, and now they are out. At the same time, your own leadership phase is unable to grasp the actual situation on the ground. Almost like an automation, Barkha. I was expecting the moment, the first comment that Rahul Gandhi ji will say would be blaming the election commission and vote chori all over again. Right? And exactly that happened. And we have seen in Bihar, we have done surveys, we know it's a vote chori is a non-starter, it's not a campaign. And if you are so confident, why don't you just back out? Say, we are not going to contest the next Kerala election to start with.
Yeah.
You know,
I was arguing with the Congress leader earlier that you're also number 3 in the rest out. You know, you're the number 3 performing party in the civic polls. Do you think that that's a lie? And there's no cogent answer, because if you're going to go on about vote chori or the elections being manipulated, then your own performance where you've done well should also be questioned.
Precisely. And what about the upcoming elections? Will you say, okay, vote chori and we are not going to contest Kerala? Or for that matter, we are not going to contest Tamil Nadu, where you are very much, enthusiastic about contesting with Vijay. I mean, the way the reports are coming in and, reinventing Congress in Tamil Nadu. Or for that matter, I mean, even in Assam, you are putting up a spirited campaign, but would you like to really go ahead with that? So, something is missing. I mean, it's like frequency and wavelength of the masses and the frequency and the wavelength of the campaign that Congress is pitching, they are in 2 different directions. So they need to put their head. I don't know what they are going to do, but one thing is sure, BJP is reading it correct, BJP is managing it correct, and BJP is investing in the future. That is why you have a Devendra Fadnavis there, but you are unable to find a Devendra Fadnavis on the Congress bench.
But it is actually incredible that a party that is actually, if you were just to look at that slide again, if we can have it for one moment, the overall Maharashtra slide, the fact that under Eknath Shinde and with the BJP, the Shiv Sena without the Thackerays has managed to outperform the Thackerays. It actually must be the first example in political history where a party founded by a family, the family is out and the party continues to do better than the original architects of that party. It is quite fascinating.
It's fascinating, yes. I mean, it's a big chunk is largely because of the BJP's support and structure. I understand that, but Eknath Shinde has proven himself. I mean, particularly, at least in his belt, he has proven that, okay, I am very much there, and he has drawn a bigger line. And he is, in our trackers, he is still a popular face. So it's not that he is not the kind of a person, certainly, who out of power and gone away. I think Eknath Shinde is pretty much there to be there. He has also kind of proven he should be happy with his performance. He has kind of proven himself in these elections, and BJP would be wise to keep him within the alliance, and that's how it's looking like. On the Thackerays, Barkha, I believe that people who have not just inherited a legacy but taken it a bit further. In my recent past memory, or the way, I mean, in the last 3 decades of my working, I have generally found only 2 leaders doing that. One was Naveen Babu in Odisha, who had taken a legacy of his father and taken it to the next level. And second one is, and I have said it more often than not, Hemant Soren in Jharkhand, who again has taken a limited legacy of his father, Shibu Soren, and taken it to the next level. Everybody else, yes, they got, I mean, Akhilesh Yadav did benefit from Mulayam Singh, but still, he has to take it to the next level. That part is still missing. So is with everybody else. Thackerays, I think something went missing with the, I mean, probably with their advisors advising them that
I mean, they just couldn't decide who they wanted to be. In many ways, they couldn't decide who they are.
Yeah, I think the power equation, the way they followed the power equation, side was the right-wing Hindutva side. That's where their basic identity was. I think to dilute that for power equation, that did not go down well with the masses, at least their core big-time voters. And that actually helped the BJP consolidate further, in Maharashtra.
Let me just ask you very briefly in the end, Yashwant, about Sharad Pawar. The cliche, and maybe not without reason, has been that Sharad Pawar is one of the smartest politicians of India. However, this time he's been outfoxed. Firstly, it is extremely peculiar, for lack of a better word, that the BJP was okay with their own ally joining hands with their opposition and contesting against them in what's called a local alliance in Pune. But in the bastion of the Pawars, the BJP just went past this reunion. Just a last thought on what happens to Sharad Pawar or even Ajit Pawar now. Not on the strongest wicket after this.
Not on the strong end, but they have, I believe that Sharad Pawar is the best business person in India. He has safeguarded his business as well. You see, he has, in his side of the territory, made him the main contestant with the BJP.
Yeah.
At the same time, Congress is out of the equation in his territory. At the same time, even by proxy, but he still remains in power with the BJP in the Maharashtra thing, and he remains open to join the central government any given point of time.
So he remains clever and playing a deep
achieved
and long game.
What people are looking at his humiliation and blah 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 blah. I believe that he has bought insurance policy. He has paid the premium by being the number 2. He has paid the premium by pushing the Congress out of place in his areas, and he is an insured person. So I think I somehow feel that Sharad Pawar has precisely achieved what he wanted to achieve.
That is so fun. That is so interesting. But Yashwant, we'll have to leave it there in the interest of time today. But we hope to have many more conversations with you in the next few days as we continue to look at more granular data that also comes out on who has voted how in this election. Thank you so much, Yashwant. Take care and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.